That's your 5 o'clock bell.
I need this thing to stay on longer.
5 o'clock, so call the meeting to order.
President Stover,
Here.
Vice President Lundgren,
Here.
Trustee Beeson,
Here.
Trustee Calhoun,
Here.
and Trustee Tweedy.
Here. Are there going to be any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Nope.
None? Do I have an approval for the agenda? Motion.
Second.
Got a motion and second to approve the agenda as written. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And number 2, approve the minutes.
Yep. Approve the January 20th, 2026 regular meeting minutes as written.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of January 2026.
Second. Got a motion and second to approve the January 2026 minutes. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Business.
Item number 1 is to approve the transfer of real estate at 801 North F Street, owned by Arkansas City Land Bank, to RD&G Midwest Pipeline Incorporated.
I talked briefly about this at yesterday's meeting. But yes, they have requested this property. The county appraised value is $64.70. They're offering $4,000 for this. This property was acquired by the city in '99 as part of the flood buyout program. So we don't have really any true cost in it other than whatever that program cost us. But as far as I can tell, we didn't have any cost because that was paid for by whatever that grant program was. Long before my time, so I don't know how all that worked, but so yeah, that's kind of where we stand. The city did demolish that property through that program. There must have been a house or something at the time. So, and Marquise Dixon is here to represent the RD&G Midwest Pipeline if you need to have any questions for him.
How big is that lot?
So what we could tell from the GIS is it was 1.07? Does that sound right? Yeah. Well, just a little bit over an acre.
So there's my first issue. We've got a 1.5 acre facility on a 1 acre lot.
I did want to ask a question or bring up. You said this is a FEMA buyout property, and there was a house removed. I know on some of those FEMA properties we have, they can't be built on, or is this one of those?
I don't believe so. We've had several others that were put into the land bank. It didn't have a situation like that. So,
Marquise, I'd like to hear what your plan primarily is for this.
How's everybody doing? So I sent in these renderings earlier, and I know we have what Mr. Beeson said about the 1.5 acres. When I first applied for when I went on the sheet and it said 1.4 acres, that's why it says 1.5 acres. That's why we came up with the plot for 1.5 acres. If we need to switch it and make it for 1 acre, it's not a problem. The other half of 1 acre will be built on the weight room. If it's just an add-on, so it can be removed, it can be taken away. It's not a big deal. So I know I sent some things in. Is there any questions about what I sent or anything like that, or just kind of want to?
You've got a foundation, this RD&G.
Yes, sir.
Right, Midwest Pipeline.
It's a 501c3. We're a nonprofit. What we do is we are a traveling-based sports entity. We offer track, football, wrestling, and softball and baseball from ages 3 all the way to 13.
Okay.
Do you have investors?
Yeah.
You what?
I was
Yes,
going to ask about the
investors?
investors.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have multiple investors. I have.
I know when we did the townhouse, we asked for actual bank statements and
Right.
investors' intentions to prove that we would have enough money to be able to.
I have a list of investors they're really just waiting on us to acquire the land so we can move forward. But I could give you the list of names. We have quite a few actually.
I would like to see that because I want to know that there's the funding for
Right.
this. And do we have any estimate of what cost is for all this?
So the estimate for well, once we get the land, we offered 4,000 for it. So that, and then with the crates themselves, they'll be $76,000, and we'll be getting, so I guess I didn't explain that.
Great.
The way we would want to build, we'll be using, it'll be a new system that is involved with crates, the shipping crate container.
Shipping crates, yeah.
Yeah. So, and for those to get 16 of those at 40 feet each will be $76,000 for each hub that we are wanting to get. And then to finish up the building, we'll end up around about $275,000 for the whole build.
So,
Is that,
so I might understand you're going to build this thing that I'm looking at right here for $250,000?
Same pictures you have.
What am I missing?
Concrete's gonna be 200,000.
Well, probably more than that,
Our
but
estimates
Well,
that we-
I know that, I just got an estimate at one of our plants, and it was 90 by 40, and that was $200,000 for just the concrete.
Okay, so what I'm talking about is like, so I didn't put that on it, but we have 10 hubs that we will be building across Kansas and Oklahoma. So those are off of like a whole 10 hub spectrum that we're getting that offer from. It's not just for the one place. If we were just doing one, we'd be looking upwards of 1.5 just for the field.
yeah, I mean, just the main building gym core would be a couple $1 million project, I would think.
yeah. So you're gonna have a gym inside the crate?
Yes, we'll have a gym. So there'll be multiple crates that build a facility.
Stacking them?
Yeah,
Is that what they
we'll
do?
stack them. It'll be four on the front, on the side, and then or 2 side by side, and then 2 on top, and then there'll be 1 in the front and 1 on top, and then it'll make a full.
And then you put a roof over it.
Yes, sir.
Josh, are we able to build crate
Yeah,
facilities or?
yeah.
And we're willing to work with the city on whatever we need to do.
Sure.
If we need to make some changes or whatever the case may be, we're open to suggestions. We really just want to get things up and going. So whatever we need to do, like.
Will
this be the
first one built?
This will be the first one built. This will be our modular main hub. This will be our regional hub for Kansas. And then our next building will be in Ponca City. That is our main goal. That would be our Oklahoma regional hub.
I think my main concern is, we've heard some, we don't want to see you put $4,000 into a piece of property and then not be able to follow through with the construction because, you got 18 months to do it.
Correct.
So,
And this is the thing is, I know we put a revertal clause too. So like we trust in the process, and I truly believe that we can make this happen. And like, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you guys if this was just an idea. This is really something in motion. And regardless of if we get this land, we're going to move forward. If we have to move it somewhere else, then we will. But we have investors and they're really interested in making this happen throughout these places.
So I would suggest that we go about this the same way we did with the townhouse. That we get the verification. How did that happen, Rick? I mean, what did we have to do on that?
If I recall, Josh worked with the applicant and they provided the financial
Saving.
response that you guys asked for. And
I mean, I would like to see that. I'd like to see who's involved with all this. And
does your nonprofit have a board?
Yes, sir.
And they would be backing? this
Absolutely.
project? Okay,
Yeah,
that's probably.
I'm
what
just
we
here
need.
because I'm the person
Right.
that speaks for us, but
That's
yes.
probably what we need to see is
Yeah.
the board.
Okay.
How it's arranged and stuff.
And I'd
I
kind
get
of like
all
to
that
see the
stuff to you,
cost
Tom.
estimate of all the stuff you're talking about
Yes,
doing.
sir. I could get it all sent to you.
Yeah, my question, I'm just not understanding the numbers. Where's all the other money? I mean, when I look at this, I'm just gonna throw a number out there. I mean, you're gonna spend 400,000 on football field, according to this. So I don't understand the 250. What, am I missing something? Is there a page I'm missing or what?
You can't put all this in that 1 acre.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Can
what,
you?
when I read the paper, it said 1.4. That's why
Right.
we ended up with that rendering of the 1.5 acre for that rendering, because that's what we thought we were getting. But if it's 1 acre, we can readjust and make something out of it.
Downscale it. Downscale it.
Yeah, for sure. like I said, the weight room is on the side of it. That's probably take up quite a bit. We can get rid of that. If nothing else, we could definitely shorten up the gym and make it a little bit shorter. We can make some arrangements, like whatever we need to do to make it happen, we can make
But
it.
is your plans to have a football field there where they can play football?
Yes, sir.
And that'll be,
But-
that'll be
but-
turf.
Huh?
That'll be turf.
Depending on what the grass situation looks like there, if it's good enough grass, then it'll last a long time. I would love for the kids to play on grass. Turf makes more injuries. It's put on top of concrete, so
But
I
it's,
definitely wouldn't like for it to be turf. No, sir.
it's not a full length football field. It's,
No, it'll be shorter than a junior high field. It'll be 80 in the middle, and then it'll be 10 on the end zones to make it a full 100.
I could do that math, but I would think the football field itself would be close to 2 acres, would it not?
Could be.
I'm visually looking at my property out there and I know I got 10 acres in them, but well, it would take up the majority.
I'm thinking length, I'm not thinking width
Yeah.
on that.
I mean, by the time you go,
football field's 50 yards wide.
53 and a half across. That's for a high school field. We're building a junior high field, so it'll be 43 and a half across, and it'll be, I want to say 280 yards or 280 feet down. It's not the full 360 as a normal football. It's some, I might be off a couple, maybe 10, 20 yards feet, but that's the rough estimate of what the field size is.
I'd like to table this until we can get some more information and get some better plans on it.
Yeah.
That's
If
fair
you're
to me.
good.
Can I ask one question? Can I get like a list of so if, say I wanted to have this done within the next couple of months, can I get a list of things that you guys are looking for so I can make sure we hit the mark on this?
Absolutely.
Sure.
I do have a question, and it's kind of more for Josh. I hate to put you on the spot, Josh, but something of this scope, would we not need engineer drawing plans, survey, things
for
like
sure.
that?
So we'll have to, and that'll be part of that process to make sure we can actually put it all on the property.
But that wouldn't be just a rendering like this. He would actually have
No,
to
it'd
be an
have to be
engineer.
Right. And I understand why you would do that.
Sure.
But we're talking like making sure it fits and all that. That would help with that process.
Well, let's put it this way. If you put forth the money to get the engineer to do it, and he had the money to get everything else done, it's a no-brainer on the 4,000.
Right.
If he can put forth 250,000 to get everything going and the
So I
ball
need
rolling.
to get, so if I go get someone to get you guys the metrics and everything. and how
Certified
we'll
engineer.
get a certified engineer
Get with Josh on
and get it in like in a good time frame. Then we're good to go with the $4,000.
What I don't want to happen.
I'm
is
just saying
take-
like,
We
I'm
don't
just
want to
saying
take your
like,
money. We don't want to take your money.
Yeah.
And then it does not happen. And then when we take the land back, it makes, hey, now you're out $4,000 and we feel bad because we,
no,
that was
I
part of the deal.
understand. But I'm not up here just because to be here. That $4,000 that we spend, it won't come back to this. The land will be ours. We already have the plans. Like I want you guys to be comfortable with it though, because ultimately this is for our city and it will make our city a better place. It give these kids something to do, and a standard to stand by. So yeah, I feel like this is a great thing that we're doing. I mean, just give me the list of what you need done and we'll get it done.
So what exactly, obviously, okay, we just talked about a site plan that has an engineering stamp on it. You wanted to see.
We'll see cost. I know.
a breakdown of costs.
yeah, I guess I want to see in writing where this can be built for $250,000. I'm
You wanted to
confused.
see board of directors.
Board of directors. Yeah.
And you wanted to see a list of investors.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that, I missed?
I think that ought to
I
get
think
the
that's
ball
pretty good.
rolling. Yeah.
So do we need a motion to table this or?
I'll make a motion that we table this until the information is provided.
I second it.
Okay, one last question.
Go ahead.
Are your investors wanting to keep this kind of quiet?
Well, my investors are not. So some of my investors work for actual school programs. Like one of them works for TCU. So he can't necessarily be, you know what I mean? But yeah, we can give you guys the information of those people. But like, do I want it to be pushed into the public? No, because they don't want that.
We got that.
So no, I'm just saying, but
Their
like
names,
giving
their
their names
names,
to
yeah.
you guys and
You got
stuff like that,
silent
that's
partners,
not
yeah.
a problem.
Sure.
For sure.
Okay. Got a motion and a second to table this. Any further discussion?
Oh. Do we want to schedule a another meeting? Like
Well,
next
wait
month?
till we get all the information and then we can schedule.
But set a date, I mean.
Well, if he has to get a engineer, that's gonna depend on the engineer, so I don't know if we can hold him at that date.
Josh, what would that normally take? About a month?
I bet you could get that.
Okay.
Right.
So he needs to work with Josh
Yeah.
moving forward and you'll coordinate with Josh on all of the items. So the site plan, the cost, the financials, the board of directors list and the investors list. And once we have all that, we'll create another meeting. Yep.
Thank you so
we
much.
will.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Cause I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm like, okay. Okay.
So if it
When you
takes-
walk out of here, you're thinking about what's for dinner.
Yeah, I know. No, I don't, listen, when I leave here, get his number so I can figure this out.
And I think to answer what Charlie's getting at, if it's gonna take him about a month to pull out together, that gives us 2 meetings. And so the next meeting, we could schedule, a resolution to schedule the land banking for that month out.
Okay.
Doug, we appreciate your drive and desire to bring
Oh,
sustainability
absolutely.
to the city.
I appreciate
but
you
we
guys'
just wanna make
honesty.
Sure you're set up to succeed.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
And if you succeed, the kids succeed.
100%.
A motion on the table. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
You bet.
Any further business that we have? Anything else? That's it?
I move that we adjourn the land bank meeting.
Second.
Got a motion to adjourn in a second.
Yes,
All
sir.
in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We're adjourned.
Didn't get far.
Now we're in adjournment till 5:30.